Alright, it's time to prep everything for a real deep freeze. It's supposed to be 20 degrees tomorrow night, but everything is covered in row cover already basically. But we ran out, and we ran out of sandbags and hoops, so we gotta get creative here. Just went and got this sand for the sandbags. These are from Farmer's Friend. If I remember right, this whole truck bed will fill up these bags. We should be good. Alright, about halfway done. So these things take a long time to fill. Crazy. Just kidding. That's stupid. Ideally you'd have a jig or something, but it just needs to get done today. So. 3 shovelfuls each, toss it off the edge, good to go. Alright, they're all full, ready for Tori to tie because I suck at tying them. She won't tell me the secret. That took like an hour. Alright, when it comes to getting everything ready for winter, you gotta think about microclimates. So like, this is a microclimate, the tunnel structure. These collards next to the tunnel, which holds more heat overnight, is also a microclimate. This bed that still hasn't got the sun on it yet is also another microclimate. This bed of salad under a row cover is microclimate. These beds that still have some things uncovered but get the first sun in the morning, so if there is any frost, it burns off the fastest, is also another microclimate. Yeah, so that's how that goes. But like tunnels like this, like those are collards that we're doing a lot for the honey hogs, so I'm trying to see like in the tunnel over the winter if they'll still actively grow faster than they will outside. I think they probably will. But like the lettuce bed over here, this lettuce bed, I should probably get row cover over that inside of the tunnel just for extra protection, because that can actually still get damaged. And it's also next to the end, so at least what I've noticed is the end beds get a little colder than the middle. So ideally you'd put the collars next to the end, but then the foliage will be touching the plastic, and if it's touching the plastic, it feels the actual temperature outside and doesn't get the benefit from the soil heat, and then it will damage the foliage. That's why they're in the middle. So yeah, a lot of stuff to get prepped and ready. I gotta cut a bunch of extra row cover to double cover some things that are more sensitive. Cover things like the salad bed, and then you can do other things too. Like you can take these tunnels and you can close them earlier in the day when the sun is still out, so it gets a lot warmer here at the end of the day, and it holds more heat overnight. And also the top here, you see the water coming off, that will freeze, so it creates like a layer of ice, and that becomes pretty good insulation too. Our forecasted low is 20, so that's pretty cold. Alright, got the old Air Force PT shirt on here in honor of Veterans Day, so thanks to all the fellow veterans and stuff. Pretty important. This is the cover crop plot. So this is 10 beds just like this here, except I cover cropped this for the winter. So that should be fine with really cold temperatures. It's established enough now that prevents washout and things like that. And yeah, stay tuned or whatever. Yeah, I'll have more videos in the future about how we're gonna plant this with methods we learned at No-Till Growers class and at Wild Hope Farm. Josh Satin has videos on those if you want to watch them. Instead of waiting for me to say what we're doing, there's a lot more information in his videos, but really cool stuff. It's going to make a big difference for a lot of people. Here's another example of the microclimate, just to show you guys how it works with this row cover. So, you know, it's also windy. You can see how everything is blowing in the wind. We'll have wind strong enough with this cold front coming through that could blow these things off. So that's what the extra sandbags are for. So that's in there. This bed is definitely getting double covered. because that could be damaged and that would not be good. Got to check out these kohlrabis here. This is Tori's favorite. Coming in pretty nice. Like these will probably be fine. Talking about microclimates, one of the things that the tunnels are great for is obviously season extension, growing your crops earlier or later in the season, and all those things. But what it also does is it also does the same thing for the pests. So we got a really nice spinach bed that, like, basically in a few days got wrecked by these little caterpillars. And there's none on this one, but so I have to come through this whole bed, hand harvest these crappy leaves out of here, leave the center of the plant down here, these leaves, but take the rest of them off, and then hopefully this really cold, it's not going to affect the spinach, it doesn't need double covered, but hopefully that takes out the caterpillars, and then we can sell more spinach, because this looks like garbage and nobody's gonna buy it. Definitely covering up the seedlings twice. So when you have the seedlings here stacked, you benefit from having the plastic, the row cover, and the heat of the soil in this more of a controlled space. So that's why they're in here. So we're getting rain late tonight into early tomorrow morning, and then the temperature's gonna be 50 in the morning, but then it's gonna drop to 20, like it's gonna drop I think to 30 something during the day and then down to 20 overnight. But it's gonna be windy, cold front, and so I have to double check the wind direction, but generally when this happens, it comes from the west and comes over the mountains and comes down this way. So coming down this way, so extra sandbags will be on that side to hold the row covers down more, because it's going to be really 20 mile an hour winds is a lot for stuff like this to handle. The tunnels will probably be fine. You can see there's some sandbags there, probably add a few more there, but yeah, all that stuff matters. Where the sun rises, where the sun sets, what time it sets, if there's wind that night. Having rain before the cold front makes a big difference too. If it wasn't gonna rain, I would definitely irrigate. So irrigate enough before the cold came so that it would dry off before the cold came. Definitely gotta get these carrots covered. So this bed with the row cover on it here is direct seeded arugula. And with the cold nights, you leave this row cover right on the bed and it holds heat, keeps more of a stable temperature, and holds the moisture in. Same concept with the silage tarps, but you want that exchange of air to go through there to help hold the heat and regulate some things. Plastic on things directly in the cold isn't good. And then this is an arugula bed that would be harvested this week, but same method between these two beds. So probably get a couple, maybe 2 or 3 cuts off of this one, and then that should be about ready. Alright, cutting the row cover now. So that's the benefit of everything be 100 feet. I cut all of them right here so they're all the same length, so there's never like a, where's this one small one at, where's this one big one at. So yeah, cut like 10 of these probably. Should be enough to cover about everything that we need. Yo, okay, so it's like 6 in the morning. I got the headlamp here, trying not to blind myself. So it's raining here, it's about to get colder. I know it's about to get colder, so I'm out here trying to trap some heat and get the row cover up. It's really important to understand your weather patterns for your area. So when we get cold fronts that come through the mountains and come from like the Midwest, the cold air can't keep up with the moisture going past the mountains, so we normally don't get snow, but like everybody else is getting snow, like the mountains are getting snow, so we don't have to worry about that. But if there was like high pressure air circulating from the northeast and coming back up and meeting moisture from the Gulf, we would get snow. So we are set up for this rain and cold. So yeah, it's time to Time to get these guys covered with row cover. Alright, this is the ran out of wire hoops method. These are yeah, that's scrap wood from a furniture factory thing here. They just leave this nice oak sitting out back, so I went and got a truckload of it for free. But that's just rubber bands. My thought is that I can pull on this to make it tight so it doesn't touch the actual foliage of the plants, but the rubber band will take the pressure and hopefully not cut it. So that's just set up at every, or just in the middle at 50 feet. So probably gonna need one just in the middle right here, just to raise it up a bit. Because the cold air is gonna be heavy and I don't want it sitting on the foliage. You been out in the rain, Tumbles? Alright, it's basically stopped raining now. It's really getting cold. I'm soaked. Can barely feel my hands. They're not moving very fast. Gotta love it. So here's the first tunnel. And yeah, ideally you'd have wire hoops with this row cover. And we did that last winter because we like probably quadrupled what we were growing last year, and we're doing 2 markets right now plus restaurants, so yeah, hopefully that's good. Sounds like it's snowing or like sleeting. Man, like a month ago, let's see, October 12th, yeah, it was like 90 degrees outside. Insane. Alright, see arugula bed. It actually feels like 3 or 4 degrees warmer under that, so I think it's snowing right now. That's what it sounds like. Hopefully the sun comes out a little bit, just super blast some heat into this tunnel and hold it underneath these covers and be able to hold that heat overnight. Okay, sun's out, just like it seemed in the radar. Front has passed, now it's windy and getting cold. So we got like the heat of the sun that we can benefit off of for a while. So these will burn off the water that was holding them down and holding the frost cloth against the foliage. So that should raise up, take the weight off the hoops, and they should come back up and work out pretty well. It's probably 75 or 80 in this tunnel, but you don't want to get too warm, but we only have like 2 more hours of intense sunlight, so probably gonna leave it mostly shut, maybe just crack one side a little bit. You can see some of these spots, there's air getting through, so gonna have to go out and make sure those are shut. There are these shirts of like the farm logo and things like that, and it's like this online shirt store thing below the video screen here. They're pretty nice. I've been wearing it. Seems alright, but if you're interested in that. Yeah, I just realized I haven't said anything about like what row covers they are, what weight and all those things. They're all mixed, and some of them aren't even actually row covers. They're like geotextile fabrics, so I don't really think it matters that much, but when all these rip up and aren't worth anything anymore, we'll be buying ones that are probably more fitting to what we're doing, and then when we know our production better, like when we'll be covering, leaving on our winter, early spring, whatnot, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So before that question comes up, because I know it will, I'm just using what we got. I got down to 20 last night. Ice inside the plastic. Collards are looking pretty pathetic. Alright, that's single row cover Salanova. This bed's kind of old anyway, so it's okay if it gets damaged. But definitely tell it's frozen. Double row cover outside Salanova looking a little better. Definitely melted off faster. Damage on these. That's kind of guaranteed almost, because they're exposed with this kind of cold. This gold beets under double row cover looks okay. It's already come back. It's not frozen, so that's how much warmer it is in the tunnel. It fogged up. You just feel the heat coming out of here. Some of these guys are kind of hunched over like that, which means they got affected by the cold, but they'll bounce back. So hopefully that killed the caterpillars that were on there. Lettuce under the cover. Sorry, it's still blurry. You see the heat even coming out of there, making the camera more blurry. That's definitely good. One thing I was wondering about was the garlic and leeks. Very good. Nice and warm in here. It's actually a little cooler than the other tunnel. So these tunnels take a little longer to heat up, but they also hold more heat. So the other tunnel's a smaller area, so it's easier to heat up in the morning. Check these guys, they're probably good. Yeah. They're a little flimsy on the top, but it'll come back just fine. They still had like that vigor feeling to them. Seedlings are okay. These double row covers made a huge difference. It's like almost the same, well, it feels the same as in this big tunnel. Alright. Carrots look like they took it a little rough. See this droop? But I don't think there's any damage, so they'll come back. Probably gonna grow those like a whole tunnel worth of carrots, maybe 2 tunnels, because that's one of our biggest sellers. And it keeps the rain off of them too. We had a bad issue with alternaria on the foliage this year, so, but they'll bounce back. Got some ice here frozen. You can see the thickness. That was in here, the end of the cat tunnel. Right, beets with no cover. That black is no bueno. It's like jelly. That foliage is bad. That's an older leaf too. These guys had a tough life, man. Yeah, the leaves are no good, but these other ones are, they're so good. These are white beets, and I've harvested the ones that formed well, but we grew them in a drought with insane heat, like record heat, and no rain. So a lot of them didn't form that well. Tunnel 2 is really warm. Sorry, it's fogging again. Not really sure how to stop that. If you wipe it, it still comes back. These guys are good. Check these beets. No leaf damage. Still has that like vigorous feel to it. It's not mushy. Which is good. We sell a lot of beets too, so, and they're just starting to form. It would be ready if there wasn't a severe drought in the summer. You can see here where the moisture weight kind of landed on that bed of arugula, so let's see. It's good. Warm too. This bed did pretty well. This will probably be harvested today. I'm like sweating in here. Checking for germination. The soil's actually warm, so let's see if that focused or not. But right there, that's the root. That's what comes out first. So another day or two, they'll all be up. Just keep them double covered. Pretty much everything survived. Might lose a little bit of Salanova that was just covered once, but everything that was covered The microclimate's fine. We were able to trap a lot of heat when it was sunny yesterday in the afternoon, so that's really all it is. You just leave this covered like that and give them what they need. This is our 4th year growing over the winter, so it's always it always makes you nervous when the cold's coming the first time, but all these crops want to live, so you do have that on your side. Hope this helps somebody out. I would have liked to seen something like this when I was just getting into it, but most of it was from books, from Elliot Coleman's book, The Winter Harvest Handbook. If you want to learn more, I highly suggest reading that. I think I've read it 2 or 3 times now. Always learn something from it. He's the OG, so you can check that out. It'll be in the description. But anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, guys.